Hello YouTube World X. I hope you are okay wherever you are. Especially here in Europe, right? Us Europeans. I was watching the news, Alex Christoforou and his clown world. Well, I can't see the joke in it. Of these MPs getting 60,000 euro per month payments when other people here, for example in Transylvania, Romania, like one of my neighbors who is very diabetic, lost her job due to illness, to this condition, already had a low salary working 3 shifts for about netto 1500 lei. That would be the equivalent of about 350 euro. And an MP gets 60,000 euro, and even every time when they come in sleepwalking or walking out when another MP is speaking that they don't like the opinion of, just walking out and getting 350 euro then for just attending, when this lady made working 3 shifts, having 2 kids, raising them alone, working 3 shifts, get about 350 euro. Yeah. And you wonder why I keep saying we need a constitutional overhaul. Do these people have no shame? No shame whatso bloody fucking ever. Let's listen to this.
Clown worlds. So remember the EU Parliament candidate, now an EU Parliament member, that I talked about from Cyprus, Fidias Panayotou. I talked about him like 4 weeks ago, a month ago, when the EU Parliament elections took place, and how he was a YouTuber who ended up running as an independent and winning a parliament seat for Cyprus. Well, he put out a video. He became more of a TikToker now. He kind of transitioned from YouTube and he started to focus more on TikTok.
Thinking about
He's
the
also
same.
an EU Parliament member. He put out a TikTok video, and he basically revealed what an EU Parliament member gets paid. He disclosed his salary. And long story short, EU Parliament members, they make 60,000 euros a month. About 60,000 euros a month.
Shameful.
He broke it down, how it all breaks down. Let me see if I have this bookmarked. I think I have the exact breakdown bookmarked. You can watch his TikTok video as well. But basically, the EU Parliament member gets 8,000 euros a month. That's the salary, tax-free. It's a tax-free 8,000 euro salary. Then they get an additional 30,000 per month for his team, and another 5,000 euros per month for an office in his country, 4,000 euros for a PR campaign, and another 10,000 euros a month is paid to invite people to the European Parliament and explain to them what MEPs do. And you also get, I knew this, what he said, what I'm going to tell you now, what he said, I already knew this. EU Parliament members also get 350 euros every time they attend a Parliament session.
So no 3 shifts for them to get 350 euros a month, like my neighbor lady had. I mean, now she has a pension de bonne, and I'm still, even though I have a pension handicap, support her a lot of times so she can go to a hospital huh? Without compromising with food for her children. Broke my heart several times the last 5 years to see that, huh? And not be able to do more, because after all, hey, at some point, at the end of the month, just like anyone else, it's gone. So, do these people in the EU, those Euro elites, have no shame at all? Then what to do? Should I run like this guy as a independent, relying on the internet, on TikTok, on Twitter, X, on Facebook, to become a MP, to be elected as an MP, an independent who will then change the constitution of the EU, for the people, by the people, totally transparent, no political immunity, and hey, 8,000 euro tax-free. I don't mind you have a cellar. Heck, I don't even mind that you would have a cellar of 8,000 euros. No. I don't mind. It's a tough job, I'm sure. It's a job, you are after all on an echelon then of higher management. And I think, yes, it could and should have a competitive seller to the market. But to reason like they did in the Netherlands back then, I remember very distinctly a minister called Dijkstal complaining how it was not fair that a minister in the Netherlands made less money than someone who works for capitalism in some corporation, international corporation on a certain level of management. They considered themselves managers of the BV Nederland, of the LTD, the Netherlands. And they should have a cellar conform the market for these kind of people. Well, even back then, much younger than I am now, my answer would have been, as Parliament, as Prime Minister, well then I see your resignation today on my desk. Don't feel obliged to be of service to your fellow countrymen who elected you. We will find someone else who finds it an honor that he is elected or she is elected by the people, for the people, and who thinks that for this honor alone they would do it. But they have to live just like anyone else. So yeah, their household need to be paid, correct. Their food needs to be paid, correct. Their children should be able to go to a school as well, correct, correct. And while they are serving us, we should then serve them as well and pay for indeed those costs. But should it be then on the level of someone who makes profit for a global corporation who plunders people like you and me? Because that's a very distinctive, different game than being representative for us, the people. You should be there to prevent those global corporates of plundering the country and the people. Correct? So yeah, should I run now as an independent? I thought many, many times about it in the Netherlands. I really did. Heck, I was even part, believe it or not, this village idiot, with his crazy diary about the madness going on. Believe it or not, he was involved with setting up a new political party in the Netherlands, 2012. SOPN. I have kind of a philosophy in life. I never regretted anything I did. Never, ever. Not even the bad shit I did in my life. I learned from it, I paid my dues to it, paid my money for the lessons in any shape or form. I never regretted those lessons. I only regret the missed lessons. I should have back then accepted to take a position, which I did not, because I really think it would have been very different for that party, without any doubt. Maybe I was what they needed, to be uncompromisable, and back then I thought, well, politics, you have to be making compromises, and for me, black is black, white is white. There is no shade of gray that will ever get me to accept evil in any shape or form. No sir, no sir. I will not allow our country to grow on the expense of, let's say, Africans or South Americans or Southeast Asians, because that will never bring peace. Never, ever. There will always then be a huge population out there in the world that hates your guts. I would hate your guts. Yes, that will be the wrong way of running a country, a nation. That's not the right way. The right way is indeed to protect your nation from foreign and domestic, without doing so on the expense of others, because you have no need to do so. Europe has everything it needs for its own consumption, regardless what they claim. We have everything we need for our own consumption, and we had a good deal with the Russians in terms of energy. So we would never struggle. Oh hell yes, that gave peace since the Second World War. Trade, commerce, mutual interests, and the USA and Europe's interests are not the same. Clearly, they are not. So yeah, how do we get free of the yoke of the USA? And voting for the EU will change nothing. You vote for even more of that system. It's amazing how people still think they can make a difference that way. And in the end, the change will still come in Europe, but very, very bloody and ugly. While it could have been very peaceful, like really simple and peaceful via international law. If enough people in Europe, in the EU, would vote for a constitutional overhaul, a copy-paste of the USA Constitution. And after all, we are just its vassals. I keep saying, we are just like a 52nd, 53rd, 54th, etc. state, where they have bases. Just vassals. And then run like we are one of their states. So at least give us then also the same constitution. That's my reasoning. And then you never have to fear any invasion of Russia or China or whatever. We would have a armed population. Make a little adaptation. Make that armed population then part of militias, the militia Germany, the militia the Netherlands, France, etc. And they are all part of the European Defense Force. That means you have a screening, psychological screening and tests of everyone who is allowed to be armed. And then yes, you can have restrictions on what kind of firearms which are in your electronic cabinet for your military duty and which are allowed for self-defense. Carry. Let's see if we then have gang rapings and other kind of bullshits going on in Europe. Let's see if you still would have this kind of crazy violence from certain people who would be automatically excluded by screening. Yeah. And since those criminal elements don't care about the law anyways, they will be armed anyways, we would just, make the balance. Likewise, we would have a balance against these warmongering fools that we see now that get paid 60,000 euro per month on your expenses, my expenses, my neighbor's expenses and her children's expenses. Yeah. But I'm the psychiatric patient according to some people in the Netherlands. I'm the crazy one. I'm the danger according to the Dutch government. Like serious, really. I'm not exaggerating. Look on the websites of NCTV, AIVD, etc. People like me, patriots, who believe that we should have a different kind of government, we are considered just like in America, the new homegrown terrorists, extremists, the southern people who are peaceful. I am peaceful, but yes, as a former military guy, I'm not afraid to defend myself. What the fuck, you think I changed because I'm 57 now? From the mentality that I had when I was 27, and they gladly had me, even recommended me to go to the military school, although I was older. So yeah, I dare to say, those same qualities you possess or you don't, right? So you out there, who is like me, ex-military, and who did this professionally because you loved your country and you were in the illusion that you served your country, but now you know you did not. You served global interests. You served the USA, purely the interest of the USA, not even us Europeans. Now that you know, what are you gonna do? Or you're gonna stand proud and you still think the same like when you were in the army. If it is shit happens, well, it is shit happens. What can you say? You don't want it. No one is, eager to throw away their lives or their safety there, well-being. But regardless, there was a time when you thought to yourself, okay, I'm willing to give up all those things to keep my country safe, to keep my family safe, to keep my friends safe, our way of living safe. Now that the enemy is an internal enemy, what are you gonna do? Like I said, I believe in that American Constitution. I swear to protect the Constitution, not the Prime Minister, not some bureaucrat, not some globalist interest. No. The foundation of freedom and liberty, the Constitution, from foreign and domestic. But hey, that's me, like I said, a extremist, a danger, a psychiatric patient. Have a nice day, Twitter, X, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I hope you are okay wherever you are. Yeah, maybe I should try to get like a crowdfunding going. After all, if Zelensky can play the president of the Ukraine, then I can play the president of Europe, right? The first president of the Republic of Europe. Have a nice day.